Hi everybody. Time to do some art. Alright, let me set up this other computer. If you're watching on YouTube, scrub forward until you see some stuff start happening. We give a few minutes for people to come in right at the beginning. So today I'm going to build an ATC box like the one I built for myself, because some people wanted to see how I do it. So it's going to be a lot of measuring, cutting, taping, painting, whatever. So if you're interested in that, that'll be good. Alright, here we go. We're about ready. Hopefully YouTube will send out a notification pretty quick. And we'll get this party started. Hi Linda. Alright, we're ready. Let me see. I was going to get out that other tape. I think I'm ready today. What the heck? Hey Dee Dee, did the notification go out yet? Linda, if you're with Tim, tell him hi. Hi Jasper, you're ready and waiting. Good. Because you can do this with building the box. You can do it any size for anything. Oh, I was going to empty this and show you guys. Hang on, let me get a little box or something so I can put all this junk in. Hang on, I'll show you. I'll empty this one on my desk so I can show it to you, because you can do this for so many different things and it won't kill me to clean this box out anyway. So alright, that I'm gonna need. Now watch, I'm gonna need all this stuff from in here and I'm gonna have to dig through it. I wish Rachel was here. She could be enjoying this ASMR moment. I'm glad she showed up at Dee Dee's this morning. Oh, maybe I'll get rid of some of this stuff too, because I got too much junk. Does anybody else have too much junk? Hi Terry. Hi Judy. Hi Brenda. Hi Barbara. So yeah, hang on, I'll show you guys. Alright, that's all that box is gonna fit. So now I know what I'll be doing later. I'll be putting all this junk back. Hey, that's probably a pen that I lost. And when you hear stuff start crashing, craft a lunch. So anyway, I had fun at Dee Dee's this morning. Happy Independence Day to all you amazing Americans. All of our festivities pretty much happen over the weekend because it's touristy. So yeah, now it's just kind of another day. Hey Z, look what I'm going to show Z. Anyway, I got this empty now, so I can show that in just a minute. Okay, I was going to do that first. Hi Dorothy, hi Ann, hi Brenda. Running into class late. Nah, there's no such thing as late here. So anyway, yeah, happy 4th of July. I love 4th of July. It's a great day. So anyway, I'm going to make the box today. Hi Amber. But before I do, I wanted to show you guys Z. Last week I was working out of, well, I showed the Christy Rice book, the watercolor book, and Z was kind enough to send me another Christy Rice book, Painterly Days. I'd never seen this one. I didn't know if she had multiple books, but I love her. Joy for Art's Sake, I think, is the one I showed last week. This book is, I just love the way it's put together. There's sometimes just something feels so good, and her stuff is always well done. So Z, Here's a public thank you. This is your favorite? Yeah, I really liked it. It's very different than the Art for Joy's Sake. The Art for Joy's Sake, I'll just grab it real quick so you guys can kind of compare. Because this one I keep right in the bookshelf by my workspace. This one has a lot of, and there's a lot done in it, but it's large designs, and it's kind of grayscale. And this one is also grayscale, but it's very large. And the difference in this one is she gives you one page that she's painted, and then you get the same page facing it for you to paint. So it's just a great way to play. Hi, Kathy Arbor. So it's the same artist, and this book is just as well done. It's fold out, obviously, so it's pretty big, and I don't know if this does not come out. So anyway, the designs in this one are much smaller. So that would be the biggest single difference, but it's grayscale, and this one has quotes on it. So I'm really excited to work in this, and probably will next Monday. This was her first one, okay. But it's got forest animals, flowers. It's just little frogs. Look at the frogs. So Z, thank you so much. I'm excited to work in it. There may be one done before next Monday. A page of butterflies. I think I'll do that one next Monday. The butterfly one. In fact, I'm going to put a thing on it so I don't forget, because, yeah, as soon as I sleep, I'll forget what I said. So, yeah, we already did all of our 4th of July celebrations. Today's just waiting for the city folks to go home. There's some hummingbirds. Oh, and these one, the same image is on the front and the back. Owls, mushrooms. There's some shrooms for you. You can't wait for inspiration. You have to go after it with a club. Jack London. Did I say hi, Barbara? Hi, Amy. So I can't tell you what the paper's like. Maybe Z can tell you. It doesn't feel great, but it doesn't feel horrible either. It's probably, you want me to measure it? I don't think it's 140 pound, maybe 110 pound. It feels about 110. This one will be really pretty when it's done. So yeah, if you want to play with your watercolors, I'm going to suggest this book. And I know the camera isn't liking the white pages, but very nice, very well done, printed beautifully, nice construction. So, yep, that's one I could recommend to you. And again, thank you, Z. You're so kind, so generous. That's what it looks like. You'd like to feel 110 pounds? Me too. I'm pretty sure 110 pounds is not in my future. So I showed you guys. Okay, Z, I'll go take a look and see if I can find the old YouTube videos on it. So I showed you guys the Zentangle box that I made. And I know Jasper had asked, and a couple other people had asked about making the boxes. And this is like a desk organizer thing that I made, and I made it on stream, so you can go back and find the old video on it. But let me pull the camera out. I did the collage on the outside with a bunch of vintage ephemera, stuff like that. So this is, I'm going to make a ATC size Zentangle card holder today, and then I'll give it away toward the end. I won't have it done because I don't have all Zentangle drawn yet, but I've been working on it. I have been doing that. But yeah, I mean, after you learn how to construct using whether it's foam board or cardboard or anything else, you can pretty much make yourself whatever it is you need or want. Look at how dirty that is inside. It sits here and holds all my pens, tools, templates, everything, and my fire. So after after I show you how to do this, you can do this and make pretty much anything you want. No, I collaged it after it was put together. The inside I painted just black, and then you can kind of tell how the collage was all put on after the box was made. Because part of the reason for collaging is to cover up the construction strips and stuff like that. Because on this one thing I did different is there are construction strips, and I'm going to show you how to make those here in a minute, on the inside and on the outside of the corners. So the collage just covers all that up. These are fun to make though. They're a ton of fun to make. So the things you're going to need are, I'm using a sheet of, I told you that stuff was going to fall. I'm going to use lightweight chipboard, and you can order this or just collect it from stuff that you have. A couple sheets of lightweight chipboard and a sheet of heavyweight, because when I'm all done, I'll make a base to sit it on, so the top has a place to rest. Which you don't have to do, I just like it that way. And then you're going to need some double-sided tape, and I'm going to use some craft cardstock to make the construction strips. So the first place to start really, hang on, I'm going to move this stuff so it quits falling. In my mind, the best place to start is making your construction strips. And I'm going to do it a little different than I did the last time, just to save time, and use the heavier weight tape. So I've got the top of the box already done, so I'm just going to make the bottom of the box. So it's just going to be, remember last week, mine sat side by side. This one's just going to have one layer, because I don't think you guys are as nuts as me and have as many. But if you needed another one, just make another one. So to make the construction strips, get a piece of, another good thing to use for construction strips is Tyvek. So if you get Tyvek in the mail, save it and use it, because that stuff is indestructible. You can't tear it or anything. These you have to be a little bit careful that you don't, well, I would say for you guys, use a scoring tool rather than X-Acto. I use an X-Acto. Do as I say, not as I do, okay? And I'm going to make 4 11-inch, because that's the width of my tape. So that's why I'm doing that. No other reason. Oh, my X-Acto is in that box. Oh, it's right on top. Yay me. And I'm going to need that too. Okay, I think we got it. So, Barbara, are you singing Don't Worry, Be Happy? There you are. Good girl. She's so good. Okay, so I'm going to cut it at 4 inches first. If I need more, I'll come back and make more later. But it's easier if you make all your construction strips at once. And then just cut them to fit as you need them. So I score at the 1/2 inch mark. And I just barely run my X-Acto over the paper, just to break the fibers. Oh, I don't want to do that yet. So I'll score it first, And then I'm going to put the tape on it, and then I'm going to cut it out. So it's a little bit more manageable, right? So as a rule, I don't do tutorials, but in this case, this kind of is one. So I hope you guys make yourself a storage box. Okay, and I told you before, this is gaffer's tape, and hopefully I can get this on here straight. But this stuff is so sticky. Like, it's so sticky. Do it on the back where your marks are not. See how sticky? You don't want to do that. Get it started straight. There we go. Woot woot, that was pretty good. You're welcome, Jasper. I wouldn't do it if I didn't enjoy doing it so much. And see on this edge, I got a little crooked. I'm not going to worry about that. There's plenty of tape on there to hold it. And you got to keep in mind, build for what you're going to use it for. Like this isn't going to get a lot of wear and tear. So, you know, I'm using the extra sticky tape, but I could just as easily use score tape or anything like that. I would not recommend using Scotch double-sided tape. It's just not going to hold as well. But this tape, this stuff is going to hold like crazy. Peel off the excess and get it in the trash, because the other day I said that on stream when I was doing it, and what did I do? I dropped a piece on the floor and I stepped on it, and then I couldn't imagine what the heck I was doing when I walked across the kitchen floor, and I kept sticking. That's how sticky this was. Even after it got dirty, it still wanted to stick. I have a laser cut box to make up, but the same print. Yep. This is pretty much how the ones you buy, this is pretty much the same principle. But you can make it with stuff that you have. So now I'm going to go ahead and cut them into inch strips. And it takes a little bit more cutting because I'm going through the tape as well. And I didn't even do the pre-measurements so that you could see my thinking process as I go through the measurements, because you can do this in any size, in any configuration. And you get to use a ruler a lot, so no downside there. And then where you've scored it, you can just tease that fold into it, and you haven't cut through the craft. The fibers in the craft, you're still going to hold it together. But this would work just as well with tie-back or anything else. Use something that's got some substance though, like 20-pound paper is not going to be a good option. And I don't know how many of these I'm actually going to need, so we should have plenty here for sure. Well, of course you use a ruler. Why wouldn't you? Nothing wrong with things being straight, you know. This one I didn't score as well, so I'll just force the fold. Okay, got our construction strips. Now we'll cut these to fit as we need them. And you could use even, like for this, I really went back and forth about whether to use the lightweight chipboard or whether to use like a cereal box. And I decided, since I'm going to give it away to you guys, I'd rather have it a little bit more substantial so that the postal service can't totally trash it. But if I was, like, I didn't use this heavyweight on my box. I used, like, cardstock. Because it's just not going to get that much wear and tear, right? So the measurements on the top of the box, like, get a piece of paper out if you're going to make one like this. It's 8.5 inches long, and it's 2 3/4 wide. Okay, that's just the top piece. The sides are 4 inches high by just slightly less than, well, no, they're 8.5 because I tucked the front pieces in. So you have to take into account the width of the chipboard. Since this is lightweight, honestly, it's not even a 1/16 of an inch. So take that into consideration a little bit, but it's not going to matter that much. Because by the time you cover it, or paint it, or collage it, or whatever, you're going to cover anything like that up. So if you're off a little bit, don't freak out. When I'm off a little bit, I freak out, but I wouldn't recommend that to anybody. Hi Sharon, hi Carol, hi Sherry. So yeah, there's the measurements on the box top. What I'm going to do is make the bottom that this will slide onto. Okay, so the bottom of the box, of course, has to sit in here, and I have this 2 3/4 inch wide. The cards that are going to fit inside it are 2.5 inches. Okay, so it would be like that. So you've got a little bit of spare for the box itself, plus you don't want these in there real tight. So I left about 1/8 of an inch on, you know, in the size of the box for play a little bit. You don't want to force them in or have to force them out, right? So the bottom of my box is going to be just under 2 3/4 inch. Let me just measure the opening and make sure. Because I could have had this all planned out, but I thought, well, I'll just let them see what I go through when I plan these things. Alright, so the inside of the box is about a 1/16 inch shorter. So the bottom of my box is going to be 2 5/8 inch. Oh, that's Blink. That design, I really like that card. I like that design. Alright, and I need it 8.5 long. So which way will that work? This way. Okay, so the cardstock itself is 8.5 inches long, so I'm going to do this one, what did I say, 2 5/8 is going to be the bottom of the box. So I've made it about 1/8 of an inch smaller than the top of the box. And it doesn't matter which one you do first or second, right? You just got to work your measurements out. I actually finished that card this morning. I was just doodling yesterday, and I just finished that card while Dee Dee was streaming this morning while I was waiting for you goofs to put your numbers in. Okay, now I'm going to stop and think. Yeah, it'll work. I was just thinking how much room am I going to take up with the sides of the box coming up. Okay, so there's the bottom of the box. Everything will get glued onto this now, or taped onto this. The height, okay, the card is going to sit in there like this. So how far up the card do I want to go with the height of the box? I know when the cards are in there, they're going to want to fall back a little bit. But I want the sides probably, I'm just going to say 1 3/4 inch high. So there's still plenty of room. You can see what's in there. Yeah, 1 3/4 inches high, I'll be fine. So I need 2 pieces. You know what, I'm going to go up to 2 inches. And I'm going to cut these one at a time. I mean, well, I trust myself. I'm going to go ahead and do the 2 measurements at the same time. Normally I would say don't measure, but I measure pretty damn good. Okay, that's probably going to be waste. We'll see if my bragging was correct, if these come out the same height. Ah, look at me, would ya? Damn, Sam. Okay, so I've got the 2 sides now for the bottom. Now I've got to make the flaps coming up the back and the front. So they're going to be 2 inches wide. Less, okay? So this was 2 5/8. Because they're going to tuck inside here. Together, that's just over a 16th. So I'm not going to do quite a half. I'll do about 9/16. And if you can't work with 16ths, go back to 5th grade. All right, let's see if I have any leftover scraps here that would be that size. No. Here's one. Nope, that's medium weight. Don't want a different weight, so have to use a fresh sheet. No big deal. That's 8 9/16. So by reducing that about a 1/16 of an inch, I've left room for the chipboard itself, right? Because I like it to all tuck in real nice and tidy. I never say the word tidy that I don't think of my mother. When I used to say that to her, Mom, let's do it so it's tidy. Oh, she would absolutely have a fit. She hated that word. Get it? No, no, no. You want it really nice and colorful and pretty. Stop it, Barbara. All right, and so the height was 2 inches. It needs to come up 2 inches, and I'm going to reduce it just a little bit for the cardboard. So just under 2 inches. Now these, I would say you want to cut them one at a time if you're don't trust your measurements. You have to fit it first. Oops, lost my chat. Hang on, got to get it back. That's what I get for setting stuff on my computer. All right, so now you're going to see how it starts coming together. That's going to sit on top of that. Hey, CB, get out your chipboard. We're making a box. And after you get one, you can just measure it like that. And that should be perfect. All right, so I have all my sides now. I think I'm done with the chipboard. Did I just cut one that I didn't want to cut? I might have. I might have to cut another one. Idiot. I just cut it out of my piece. Normally I write on the side, right, left, side, top, bottom. All right, that's scrapping. And I almost cut the wrong piece. Y'all are distracting me. Quit doing that. There's the bottom, the left, the right, the front, and the back. Now, just got to make sure I keep them in their right place so I don't screw up again, so you guys can make fun of me. All right, and making the construction strips, I just normally mark them like this where I know I want one. Mark it a little bit less, and I know I'm going to need 2 of these. I'm going to need 4 of these. So on either side for the front and the back. Now I need to find some scissors. How are we distracting? Don't flip your boards. Hey Jane, did you come in here just to be a smartass or to hang out with Barbara, who is a smartass? But who is really good about singing Don't Worry, Be Happy, so. Okay. And then I always cut the edges so that everything will lay nice and flat. So about 45-degree angles. It doesn't matter if it's 45 or not. You'll see. So there's the sides for the front and back. Now I need a long one, 2 long ones for here. And after you kind of get it in your head, you can do this really quick. I mean, it does not take long. And if you like Dee Dee's build, this is how you can do it and make it look really good that you don't mind it sitting around. I love my build. Of all the things that I've done in this room, well, second to the stamp cabinet. I do love my stamp cabinet. But that build for the markers and pens was literally one of the best organization things I've ever done. So thank you, Dee Dee. All right. Any questions so far? Maybe I'll sell kits. Can you see? Oh, Jane, I probably have made dozens of different kind of boxes like this, organizations. Yep. Now the tricky part is getting this tape on right on the edge. Okay, so I'll do one of the sides first. And I think I am going to go ahead and score down the center to get the tape off so that it's not sticking to every damn thing I touch. Now if you're using score tape, you wouldn't have to do this step. But it's not that big a deal. So excuse me while I make sure I don't screw this up. Barbara, if I screw this up, it's going to be your fault. Get it right there on the edge. That was pretty perfect. Okay, so that one's ready to go on the bottom. I was being naughty and went to ninnies. What the heck is a ninnies? We certainly don't have ninnies around here. That was one thing I was going to tell you guys when Dee Dee starts doing the napkin giveaway. I always think about it. Everybody says, oh, it's hard to find places where you can get pretty napkins. Tuesday morning is always a great resource for pretty napkins, and they're actually pretty darn good price. But the other place that I have found really, really pretty napkins is at any party store. Party stores have great napkins. I found some of my prettiest ones there. And this tape is so not forgiving, so try and be as precise as you can at that stage. Okay, so the sides are done. I didn't cut one for the bottom of these, so hopefully those are going to be a decent size. My leftovers from the other cuts are going to be a decent size. I'll use them. Ninny sells all sorts of paper crafts here in Canada. Cool! I've never heard of Ninny's. I've heard of your dollar store. Make sure I'm taping the right edge. And this one doesn't go from edge to edge. It doesn't matter because it's going to hold just fine like that. So, yeah. Because you get it. You're not dumb. Yeah, Dee Dee has some cool napkins. Well, another place that I found them, where was? Oh, Joann's. I found some really cool napkins at Joann's before. So, just look everywhere you go. It's surprising where you'll find them. And they are great for bases. They really are. They're awesome for bases. Okay. And it doesn't matter if you put the sides on whichever of the pieces. It does not really matter. I think I'm going to put them all on the ends because it's the smallest and it'll be the hardest to do, so y'all can make fun of me later. And you've noticed that I've turned these inside out, right? Hey, Cat and Paste, I'm making a box. Thinking inside the box today. Where did that, oh, there it is. See, I already lost stuff, damn. You ironed your napkins, Barbara? Barbara, never ever again do I want to hear you talk about my neuroticism, okay? My dad used to make me, well, he didn't make me, he just asked me to iron his money. He liked his money flat. So I did iron my dad's money. And his t-shirts and underwear and jeans. So now you know where I get my neuroticism. Okay. So the end of the box has tape on the 3 sides now. And then it's just slapping it together, and I'm going to paint it black as well on the inside, white on the outside, so that the Zentangle I put on it will look really pretty. So I think Julie was leaving Dee Dee's today and going to a parade in her town. Do you guys towns have parades for 4th of July? I don't know if Grove does, or if the town, you know, the closest town to me has a parade or not. I suspect they do. My cleaner thought I'd love. Well, your cleaner was probably right, Dorothy. I used to have an iron dedicated to skis, so we could wax our skis. That's about as much ironing as I want to do. San Antonio has a parade for everything. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't been to a small town parade in forever. I think it would be an awesome thing to do. Now, putting it together, really, it's just whatever you think is going to be easiest, honestly. Whether you put the sides on first, I'm thinking I'm going to put the sides on one of the sides, and then I'm only grappling with the, you know what I should do? I'm going to do the bottoms, the front and the back bottoms first, because that's going to be the hardest tape to get removed. So the only thing there is you're going to have to leave a little bit of room for the chipboard. So this may not be the smartest thing, but we're going to do it anyway because that's the way I do things. Wainwright just had their parade and Stampede. Cool. I would bet Veneta has a really good one too, because they always have a big rodeo on the 4th of July. I haven't been to a rodeo in years either. I think that would be really fun. But the problem with that is people. You really have to go out and be among the people. All right. There's the front and back. Shannon Green, oops, got me hooked on ironing paper. Well, just because your friends jump off the Empire State Building doesn't mean you have to, Barbara. Now, that's something my mother would say. But all my friends do it. Yeah, well, just because they do it doesn't mean you have to. Did you guys' mother say stupid stuff like that? All right, now get the bottom of your box in location. Am I on where you guys can see? I've already ripped off the, oh, perfect. Oh, God, could that be more perfect? It couldn't be more perfect if I tried. All the time. Yeah, see, my mom used to say stupid stuff like that. Ugh. But all my friends got tattoos. Why can't I have a tattoo? I don't have a tattoo. Would never have a tattoo. The best thing I can tell you about tattoo is, would you put a bumper sticker on a Bentley? All right. Very cool. I'm glad I did it that way so you guys can see that. That worked out perfectly. Okay, so the bottom of the box is almost ready, and it's pretty near perfect, is all I could say. Now all I have to do is take the tape off and fit the front and the back ends. Oh God, I could just kiss myself. Jasper, are you paying attention? Are you going to be able to do this? Line up one side perfectly. Make sure it's perfect, or don't even bother. Line up the other side perfect. And then this end. And that's exactly how easy it is, even with the stickiest of tapes. It couldn't get any better if I tried. Yes, ma'am. Okay, Jasper. Now, I'm going to put this on a base so that when the top, let's find the top. If this doesn't work, I'm going to be so embarrassed and I'm going to quit streaming right now. So when this slides on, holy crap, I'm going to have to change this. All right, let me see. I've got about the width. Okay. I can trim that off, no problem. I'm going to have to make a new end, so yeah. I'm going to have to trim this off about the width of the cardboard. So don't make your measurements that tight. I really thought I was being really, really smart. Now to do that, I'll just cut down these corners. Trim, 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 done. And the base, I'm going to put on a little bit heavier cardstock. So I'm going to have to cut it this way because I'm going to leave about 1/8 of an inch all the way around. So the base will have 1/8 of an inch. So it's 2 5/8 inch across. So it'll be 2 7/8 inch wide. No, Tracy, you do not have to iron the napkins. And when you put them down and use matte medium on it, they smooth right out. Or maybe you could beg Dee Dee to iron them before she sends them. Dee Dee, why don't you do that? All right. And it's 8.5 inch long, so 8 3/4 inch if I want an 8th on either side. What did I just do? Bye, Z. Thank you. I love you. 8 3/4 is what I said. Does anybody else do that? Like forget immediately what you just said? And I am going to go ahead and affix this right now, and I'll just draw myself a couple of 1/8 inch lines so I keep it straight. Dee Dee would eyeball it. I know she would, and she'd probably be close, but that's not okay in my world. You're funny, Barbara. I don't know, Barbara, I forgot. It was good to see Rachel this morning, too. And did she say she was going to head back to Canada? If she did, it seems like that time she was away went really fast. And the only reason I'm doing a base, you guys, is to make it more substantial. That's it. Because when you get the cards in this, it does get a little bit heavy. Jane, what did you say? Oh, there's Jane doing the same thing. Y'all are goofballs. You would be great making model horse tack. You think? And this, I could use the double-sided tape, but I think I'm just going to go ahead and glue this so then I can move it and make sure. Rachel did say that. That's what I thought she said. So, oh, you know what, though? Can't do this yet because I've got to cut it down. I'm going to cut it down right now. I want a little bit more space in here, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this down. I'm going to have to make because it's just a hair short, my bad. So yeah, y'all are a bunch of smartasses, but that's why I let you come over my house, because if you weren't smartasses, you wouldn't really be welcome here. A lot of measuring. Yeah, and invariably, I promise you guys, when you're doing something on stream, it will invariably screw up. Just saying. So now I'm going to, let's see. This is going to be weird, but I'm going to do it this way anyway. I'm going to cut it down just over a 1/16 on all sides. Let me double check myself. I'll do a whole 1/8. What the hell? You're a sweet Canadian. I love Canadians. A lot of you are new, and my dad used to take us to Canada every summer. I spent a lot of time in Canada. A lot of time. I've probably been in more places in Canada than most Canadians. I've been to Northwest Territory, Yukon, Saskatchewan, Alberta, British Columbia, Ontario. Been all over. Ain't no screw-ups. Right on schedule. It's not... Fixing your screw-ups isn't that bad either. And even perfectionists like me screw up, so who cares? Thing is, I totally trust myself to screw up. You've only been, seeing, we got to, my dad was very cool this way. We took a cruise from Alaska down to British Columbia. So I've been on Vancouver Island. I have to say, my dad was awesome that way. So we got to do a lot of stuff as kids. And I've told you guys on stream this before. I grew up thinking we were poor, and we were average, I would say. But my mom and dad saved all year so that my dad could take the summers off and take us on these amazing vacations. But that, I have to say, the cruise from Alaska down to Vancouver Island was one of the most memorable trips ever. Ever. I'm going to see if I can tear this tape off. If I can't, I'll just cut another piece. Oh, it came off okay. Oh, I used to make templates out of boxes, envelopes. Yeah, use what you've got. All right. That wasn't so horrible, was it? Now, before I tape it, I'm going to put that back in there. I'm going to put the lid on it and see. Yep, that's going to work. That's going to work just fine. Yep, yep, yep. Some of my family history is in and around Ontario. Others are in and around Corpus Christi. I've been to Corpus Christi. That was another very memorable trip with Mom and Dad. Corpus Christi is beautiful. The beaches down there are awesome. And South Padre, their beaches are gorgeous. All right, let's cut some new construction strips. And I'm going to paint all this, so if I've peeled off a little bit of the backing, it's no big deal. You'll never see it. Because I'm going to paint it. I got paint out. Yep, I'm doing it right. Glad I made 4. I ended up needing them. The reason I made 4 was because of the width of the tape. That's what dictated that. If I have some left over, I'll just save it for later. Because I'll make something again someday. This tape really gunks up your scissors, though, I have to say that. I'll be cleaning them later. Back in the day, Playboy magazine listed one of our local beaches as one of the top beaches. God, Barbara. You read Playboy for the articles, right? That's funny. Okay, here we go. Do the bottom first. All right, so if you're going to make one of these, don't do that last part because that was just damn stupid. Swoot. All right, check chat. See you, Jane. Bye. Dang, that's tiny work. I need to get the supplies for this. I'm making a list. I saved this video on my favorites. Jasper, you don't need any additional supplies. You really don't. Literally, a couple of sheets of chipboard, which you can use a cereal box. The one thing about using a cereal box that I would have to say is you might have to sand the inked part. But otherwise, no, don't buy anything special. You don't need, you can use your scissors. Don't buy anything special. If you can't build this out of stuff you already have around, you should be able to. And because I was about 1/8 of an inch long, I have to remeasure this. You don't even have to double up a cereal box. Well, depending, Brenda, what it is, what you're going to use it for. Yeah, I do not buy anything special. You should be able to make this out of junk you have in your house. Now, to make the build for your markers, I would say definitely you want to buy the foam core board. But for this, nah, you can use junk you've got. Okay, sweet. Sweet! And say you wanted to do a build like I hold my supplies in, you would just make this box top in different heights and glue them together here. This one's a little too high, obviously, but that's exactly how I made this. I just made different boxes of this size in different heights and then glued them together. So, I mean, you can literally do this for anything. But yeah, cereal boxes, cracker boxes, any of that junk. And this I'm going to glue on. I mean, I could tape it on, but why not just glue it? Right? Right. Get out your Aleene's Tacky. And this is getting old. It might be getting dried up. I do have a new one. Dee Dee would probably use her finger to spread that. I usually grab something out of the trash. To use as a glue paintbrush. You have to spread it though, so it will sit flat, right? Try and get it as close to that edge, that 1/8 inch mark as I can. Try not to go over. The paint will go over it though, so don't worry about that. And you can't dawdle real long. There we go. I just really need that tape for sure, but at least maybe can use. Yeah, the Tyvek honestly is probably the best construction strips. And I could have used that today, but a lot of people don't have Tyvek. But and you can cut that base the same size as the box itself, but all it does is give it a little, it's a little bit more substantial with that base on there, is all. Alrighty. So there you go. That's how you make your box. Make it with a lid, without a lid. I normally don't make a lid, but since this is for ATCs or something that's just going to be sitting around, now y'all are really going to think I am, so who cares. Neurotic. I just didn't want them getting dusty. And wiping off the top of the box is a whole hell of a lot easier than having dirt all over your cards. So there you go. Cards will sit in there really nicely. I'm going to go ahead and paint this. Yeah, they fit in there really good. And when I send out the box, I will make you the alphabet divider cards, okay? So you don't have to come up with a design for that. But the cards that you put inside, they're going to be on you. But this is perfect size for any ATC. So if you've done ATC swaps or something like that and you want a box to keep them in, this would be perfect. Right. Okay, here's the black paint. I'm going to paint the inside of the box black. I need a garbage paintbrush. Where is a garbage paintbrush? I'll just sit down one night this evening. This probably won't go in the mail until the end of the week, because I am going to go ahead and cover it, and this is the art I've got done so far to wallpaper it with. So this is the top and one of the sides, so I've got to do another sheet about like this. So I've got half of it done. Oh, it should fit now, Dorothy. Better fit now, I'm going to be pissed off. Check it out. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. So this part will all be Zentangled, just exactly like mine. And I'll paint the insides and all this stuff, right? Yep, brilliant. Brilliant. Woo, it fits. I knew when I took that 1/8 of an inch off it would. And then the cards fit in there real good. So let's paint the insides black and the outside white. Get a piece of this chipboard that's going to end up in the trash anyway, so I don't have to clean up a paint mess. It is. It's perfect. If it wasn't, I wouldn't send it out to you guys because I'm not going to send you junk. Just not gonna. If I wouldn't keep it myself, I'm not gonna send it to you. And this is just craft paint. Goes on really easy, dries quick. Just makes it look a little bit prettier. And I will spray it when I'm done with some Final Fixative. That doesn't mean that you can wash it with a wet rag, but it will mean that you can dust it off easily because no matter what I do, at the end of the day, it's all about how easy is it to keep clean. I promise you, I don't keep much in my house that can't go through the dishwasher or the washing machine. If it can't go through those two things, it's either in a storage tote or at the thrift store. I just don't own it. So Jasper, tell me, are you going to make one? Maybe you won't have to. Maybe you'll win this one when I do the giveaway. I hope you guys make it, even if it's just for like on your desk to hold your pens and stuff. I used to keep all my pens and stuff in mugs. They drove me crazy. But when I built this little holder for all my stuff, it just made my life so much better. I like doing nice things for you guys, Jasper. I have to say, I think we're all so fortunate, and I say it a lot, and I mean it. I think we're all so fortunate to be a part of this community, and so occasionally to do something kind and generous, it doesn't kill my worthless butt, right? And if you learn something while you're here, that's awesome too. And if you don't, damn it, you're not paying attention. Quick and easy. Let's see. You are a nice lady. Tracy, don't go around saying that in public. Dang it. Jeez, you're going to ruin my rotten reputation. I've worked hard to acquire this. It's taken me 12 years at Dee Dee's to do that. Okay. Barb opened collage an empty food tin last week to store pens and things in. Oh, okay. Cool. Well, I think a lot of people don't realize, like, doing something like this, when you see it done, you realize, dang, that's not hard. I could do that. And you can literally do it any size. Or you could go to the U-Haul store and just buy boxes. How about that? Yep, Jasper, get it in your Society of Idea Collectors notebook. It's got a nice matte finish. I like a matte finish. You could do this gloss if you wanted, but I prefer the matte. And the finish that I'll use on the outside of the box will also be matte. So it's not going to come all glossy. And see where when it's painted, you don't see the creases or anything. I don't know if the paint fills in or what. So, you know, where the parts meet. Just makes it all look really, really nice and finished. It's funny, I just heard a car outside and it made me think of this weekend. Of course, we have tons of people here for 4th of July weekend. This is the biggest weekend on the lake. Yesterday, I actually heard, and there's one highway coming onto the island, one highway leaving the island. Well, it's the same highway, but you got one highway going in, going out. And because it's so remote, you never hear a siren. You never hear anything. This weekend, I literally heard people drag racing out on the highway. I thought, we've lost our damn minds here. But it's funny, when you live out here, and it's normally so quiet, the things that your brain listens to. And there were people out drag racing on the highway. I think people in the city probably hear that all the time, right? I was just like, what the hell? Another thing you never hear out here that I heard this weekend was car alarms. Damn car alarms going off everywhere. All right, I think that's dry enough. I can touch it now. Not sure what I'll put on the bottom of the box. On mine, I put little felt feet just because I like them. Yeah, so I might do that. But I will cover the bottom as well. I'll do something with the bottom. Not Zentangle. That's too much work. All right. So that can sit and dry real good. And I'll paint the top real quick. Just sit there. I'll paint the inside of the top black and the outside white, so that when I put the Zentangle on it, this is 24-pound paper, so you shouldn't be able to see through it at all. But I'll do it white so that the white stays nice and white. Who's making sense? Nobody I know. Need some coffee. All right. You don't have to paint it. I'm going to, just because that's what I do. But if you don't want the inside of your box painted, don't paint it. But for the 5 or so minutes that it takes, it just makes it look better, in my opinion. But if you do this, you could use your pattern papers or anything, you know, to make it look pretty. I think it's a nice finished look. Yeah, see, I do too, Brenda. No reason not to. I'll be a little bit more careful, even though I'll do the white very last. I'll be a little bit careful and trying not to get the black all over the place. But ultimately, it'll be covered, so. And then after I get this done, because I decided I would do this when I made my box, that I was going to make one for giveaway, only a single layer. And mine's so different because I built that little nook in there, that little spot for the tangle patterns. So yours isn't as fancy as mine, but hopefully it'll be just as useful. I love mine. But when I'm done with this, then I can get back to the monster journal. I'm itching to do that. It's just a little bit more carefree, I guess. So I'm excited to get back to that. And I can't believe that we're already halfway through the year, you guys. This just seems insane to me. That we're, I should have put them down so I don't have so much cleanup. Yeah, we're already halfway through the year. What the heck? We'll be having to do our taxes again before you know it. Crap, I hate that. But isn't it, like, is anybody else just shocked that we're at July 1st, or July 4th, actually? It kind of just hit me the other day. We just went past the longest day of the year. I was just waiting and waiting for the longest day. Now here we are. Time flies, you guys. Appreciate it because, man, it goes fast. we know it, we'll be doing the scavenger hunt. Exactly, Barbara. I'm going to have to start thinking about the list already. Scary how fast time goes. Just one more side and we're good. I didn't get too much black on it, so that's a good thing. And I wish I could wallpaper it while you guys were here. I did work yesterday trying to get the artwork done, but real life just got in the way, so oh well. Almost done, you guys. Bear with me just a few more seconds here. How many of you guys ordered that sketchbook that Dee Dee showed this morning? I was like, Dee Dee, why can't you just leave well enough alone? Dang, girl. That square one is just too enticing. I hadn't even thought about looking for a 600-page sketchbook. All right, let me look inside and see how messy it really is. Get it just right in the light. Robert just came in from outside. I think it's hot out there. Is it hot enough for you, Robert Vaughn?
What?
Is it hot enough for you?
Yes, it is.
It's burning up outside.
I'm finally retired.
Gonna call it a day outside?
Pardon?
You gonna call it a day outside?
Yes.
Yeah, probably smart. We're getting close to 100 this
No wind.
every day this week. You haven't had summer yet? Ugh. I think part of the problem here is we would normally be used to really hot. It's just hot in Oklahoma in the summer, no doubt about it. But this year we had such a cool spring. So all of a sudden to have these blast furnace 100-degree days, man, it takes its toll. That's why this morning I had to leave Dee Dee's and go water, because I thought I'm not going to wait until it's 1.5 million degrees outside. All right, I think I've got the inside pretty well covered. Looks good. I have to get it at a certain angle to even see it, so just doing a little touch up. Oops. Oh, it's not available in the UK? Aw. The big one's in your basket. Summer's almost gone. I haven't been in the water. I haven't either, CB. Yeah, we used to go swimming every afternoon, Robert and we haven't gone over once. But it had been so cool that I kept thinking, oh, the pool water is just going to be too cool, because we weren't having any really hot days. Now, yeah, It's going to be like bath water over there. But yeah, we probably will start going over the pool in the afternoons. That's a nice break in the day. Terry, I'd almost offer to get it for you, but the postage would break me. I'd have to get a second mortgage on the house. Trying to clean this brush out enough so that I can do white with it without, well, I probably should just put this aside and get a new brush because I'm never going to get all that black out. Yeah, I don't have a nasty paint bucket like Dee Dee. And that's okay with me. Alright, now I need another brush to do the white. Let me see if I have one up here. Which one? This one will be fine. The outside will be, oops, a lot easier. Privilege. You got it all done, Dee Dee. Wow. It would make the book gold dust, no lie. Alright. Do the outside white. Let's see if I have another piece of chipboard. I just grabbed something from the trash. We'll just put paint on his face. I'm so glad we had our primary election last week. I was so sick and tired of all the crap mail you get. I wish they'd quit doing that. Nobody needs all that stuff in their house. Walk it right inside and put it right in the trash. And this is just so the white on that Zentangle sheet stays nice and white. It's the only reason I'm doing this. You won't see any of this. And all the measurements are gone now. And the chipboard may distort just a little bit from the moisture in the paint, but it comes right back to its original. So if you're doing this and that happens, don't worry about it. It goes right back to its original shape. I think, well, they haven't called yet. I got a message just a minute ago, so maybe that was them. But I think my new glasses are going to be ready tomorrow. So I'll be going and getting new glasses, and I will see you guys better next time I see you. I'm actually excited. It's been a couple years since I got new glasses, so. And I picked out different ones this year. Woohoo! It's almost like getting a new hairstyle. I won't know how to act. My eyes didn't really change that much. I don't think it's going to make my life that much different, honestly. But it's fun to get something new. All the better to see you with, for real. Yeah, I'm excited. Do you want to hear something pitiful? This is truly pitiful. I am such a pinhead I must have tried on, I don't even know how many different pairs of glasses. Or frames, you know, just to pick them out. I'm such a pinhead. The glasses I like best, that fit me the best and look the best on me, were in the kids section. Fortunately, they have some cool frames in the kids section. And I'm pretty sure that head size has nothing to do with brain size, so don't go getting any stupid ideas. But that's just pitiful. But the girl, and I'm sure she just said this because she was trying to sell me glasses, she said, oh, I have to pick mine out of the kids section too. I think she was trying to make me feel better. But yeah, I have to wear kids' glasses. You're gonna cut your hair after my stream? Well, I hope it's nothing I said or did, Dorothy. And I'm not being even a little bit careful with this paint because I know I'm going to cover it. So this is just, yeah. Probably could have gotten away without doing it at all. Ah, where'd that black come from? I'll have to let that dry and go over it again. What the heck? Sorry if I can't keep this under camera for you guys. It's just a little big and unwieldy. Just a little bit more paint. A pleat. Yeah, we don't say that here, CB. I just keep mine in a ponytail most of the time, especially around home. But a ponytail works well with my ball cap, so. But if Robert and I ever go out, I do fix it and let it down. But around home, no. Ponytail is just too dang easy. Alright, clean up a couple of little goobers here. And set that aside, and I'll draw for a little bit. I'm not going to stay on real long today, but don't necessarily want a lip. What the hell? Okay, I can, ooh, almost dropped it. Set that aside and let it dry. Set that in the water for a minute. Let me get a baby wipe out. I think I knew what you were talking about, Dorothy. It's just not a word we use here. But y'all use wrong words all the time. I'm cleaning this off because I'm going to put that Zentangle down here and I don't want this all over it. All right. Did I get it all? Right. If it won't come off after all that, it should not get on my papers. And anything on my hand should be okay, right? Right. There you go, CB. Speak English. Okay, that's what I've got done so far. Let me move this. And I just pick the designs as I go. Ugh. And I pick them out of my little book. All right, let me check real quick. Okay. So if any of you have any designs that you want to see me draw, speak up. I just kind of flip through the book and think about. I did highlight the ones that are kind of my favorites, but I'll draw any of them. I don't really care. Some of them work better in certain places than others, for sure. So I like that one. Let's try that one. Yeah, let's try that one because it's kind of cool. We'll put it over here. And the way I started this was, I generally, if I'm just wanting to draw Zentangle, I normally do start with a tangle, you know, just a string, just a random drawing, and then work around that. Thanks, Kat. If you Google French pleat, you'll see it. Okay. But yeah, I don't go into this with any plan. And this so far, right now, does not have any of the highlights or shading on it. Because I knew my hand was going to be all over it, I just thought, oh, I'll shade it last so that I'm not moving graphite around. So let me see in this box of crap that I moved if I can find an eraser. Oh, and there's my, I don't think I'm going to shade it before, there it is. So there are some pencil marks on the page, but it's just the original tangle that I drew, or string, I think is what they call it. So I do erase it because I don't really like to go back after I've drawn with ink. It shouldn't move. I am using permanent ink, and it shouldn't move, but I'm always just a little hesitant that I'm going to start erasing something and then it's going to smear. And then you're going to see me pissed off. So I do try and use permanent ink. I did get out a plastic nib micron that I like, and I'm still trying to use up all these microns that I've purchased over the years. But let's do, this one's called Fleavy, F-L-E-A-V-Y, and I just like it. I'm going to do it over here though, because I have those petal-like things over here. So let me kind of carve out the place. The string goes like this. All right, I'll use this space right here. I go into this with no plan, so however it turns out is how it turns out. And this one's pretty simple. I don't have to look up the design, how to draw it. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. You just start out with a single line. Draw some little leaves on it. And then when you draw a line next to a line, it's called echoing. So then you just echo that original line and leave the little petals hanging out. And it ends up looking very cool. And I'll add some more of those leaves as I move out. And it's actually goes pretty dang quick. And remember, this is supposed to be like zen and relaxing, so don't be too hard on yourself. And I usually alternate one side to the other. I don't know why, I just do. And then occasionally just add another leaf. Oh, I need to practice the non-smearing Zentangles. Yeah. And the reason I know that, Tommy Joe, hi by the way, is because I've smeared stuff. So I kind of know now what not to do. Doesn't mean I practice it faithfully, but I try not to make the same mistake multiple times. That's what maturity does for you. That's how I gaslight myself into thinking that I'm mature. Ain't no maturity going on over here. And you'll be shocked how your not crooked lines end up being okay. And in some designs actually look better. And I could have made those petals bigger, whatever. You get to decide. You be the boss. You get me to pull you in a little bit? Gets quiet in here when I start doing this. Sorry, dudes. Yeah, I like this pattern too. When it's done, it just looks way cool. And sometimes one thing I do kind of pay attention to is I'm deciding what patterns to draw or not draw is how much black there is in them. After I kind of carve this thing up and put in the striped border patterns just to kind of break it up, then I do start paying attention, you know, like this is a heavy black pattern, this is a heavy black pattern. So I try and break those up with something kind of medium or light in between. That's about as much attention as I pay to what pattern I'm going to put where, is how dark is it getting. But when I put the highlights and stuff like on the checkered border pattern and stuff like that, it does change its appearance a lot. Kids are here to swim. Okay, bye Tommy Joe. Go have fun with the kiddos. My lines are not, well, and I kind of do it by design. I try not to keep them all uniform. I almost want it look like it's changing and moving, you know. And another thing, I don't know, is like transitioning from one pattern to another pattern. I do try and carry one pattern somewhat into the other one, like right there where I let this design kind of go into that. And here on this edge, I'm going to start reducing the lines to make it more circular. I may end up drawing these lines out into whatever goes next to it. I do try and do somewhat nice transitions rather than a straight line, and somewhere I do see right here I have a straight line. I don't particularly like that. I mean, it's done now and I'll try and change it with shading or whatever, but yeah, I don't like the straight line transitions. And I've started following a couple of artists on IG. Man, there are some nice Zentangle artists out there. And theirs are more themed. And I rarely do a themed one. My favorite part of the whole thing is the shading, though. I know I get so quiet when I start doing this. Sorry, you guys. I'm just excited to find out if all the people went home. That's pretty much what I'm all about on the Monday after a holiday. If they don't go home, I'm just going to have to really second think about going and getting my glasses tomorrow. Because if there's going to be a bunch of people out, yeah, I hope they all go back to work. That's what a dope I am. So anyway, what I'm hoping is that I'll get all this done by the end of the week, because other than going to Joplin tomorrow, which will be a full day trip, by the time I get my glasses, get groceries, come home and I'm tired and full of people, then I just have to do nothing and congratulate myself for not killing people. I'll try and get it done by the end of the week. No, Barbara, we do down here. They do all the big firework displays on the weekend, because they know that people come for the weekend and then have to leave and go home. So all of our big firework displays have already happened. I think they started Friday night. There was a big one Friday night, big one Saturday night, and then the big one here by me was last night. And it was gorgeous, I will say. These people spend some serious money on their fireworks displays. Like, it maybe not be Disney quality, but it's not far from it. Like, they go all out. And then there's one down at Duck Creek, which is just kind of a well-known area on the lake. They did theirs, I think, night before last. They try not to do the really big ones on the same night so that people can go to 3 or 4 different displays. The only people doing fireworks tonight will be the small towns. Like, we could probably go into the Bonita Fairgrounds tonight, and they'll have a display. And I think Bernice is doing theirs tonight. So, yeah, anybody who came to the lake, they've already done all their celebration. And believe me, they were doing fireworks all weekend. All weekend. Last night, when I went to bed, I was actually getting a little ticked off. It was just like, okay, enough already. Just go to bed. Could you please go to bed? I got to get up early. Dee Dee's streaming. And I think it was still close to 11:30 before I could go to sleep. And these people don't mind spending money on it, believe me. Spending a lot of dig. Which I mean, that's their business. I don't really care. I just wish they'd be done by 10:30. Because that's my bedtime. Because after all, it is all about me. Hey, Jane. Yeah, most of these people, I'm hoping. Now, a lot of them will actually take the whole week off. That's pretty common, that we'll have more than normal people. But yeah, most of them will go ahead and, I hope, pack up and leave. And I can have my perfect, quiet little life back. Is that terribly selfish of me? You can say yes, and I'll say, okay. I'm still not changing my idea. Okay. So got one more little area done. Let's look for another one. Does anybody have any they want to see me draw? Yeah, peacock feathers. There's feathers. I like that one too. I'm still kind of mulling over if I think I kind of want something dark in there. And this I want medium over here. This is on the side. Let's see, this is the top of the box. I've got it measured out, and this is one of the sides. Floop. Okay. I'm just looking to see how it's drawn so I kind of get an idea. All right, let's see, where do we want floop? Let's do floop down in this corner. So if it comes out ugly. Oh, Barbara Clark has a question. What was the name of the leafy one you just did? It's called Fleavy. F-L-E-A-V-Y. Fleavy. And most of them, they're not difficult to draw, really, any of them, after you kind of see how it's done. Most of them, you just got to figure out your starting point. And then after you figure out your starting point, everything else just flows from there. So this one, it looks like you start with like a C, and then everything, you draw off of that original C. Now, if I wanted to, I could go to my box and pull out the card and see if I'm right, but I'm just going to do it this way, and we'll see. Start over here. Let me pull you down to where you can maybe see me doing it. And I'm just doing this. And I'll go ahead and draw the line so that I can connect it up. So it looks like it's going around the pipe. The pipe is running through it, right? And then if you know, I guess you could just go ahead for your own mind, go ahead and draw that out so you kind of see. And then it's kind of keeping it a reasonable size. Because at the rate I'm going, it's just going to keep going bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's fine too. I'm just going to draw several of them, going in different directions. Let's see, do I have this as a border design or as a random? This is in the random section, so and how I'll shade it and color it in later, I don't know. Don't know. And the thing is, even if I started doing this and I screwed up, who's gonna know, right? Oh, Mary Berry, you live in New York City, yeah, so you totally get it. You know, and the funny thing is, like yesterday when I was outside, and there were kids out playing in the lake, and the crazy thing is, I love to see the kids out enjoying the lake and doing their wakeboards and everything. I love watching that, but then when I'm done, I'm done. It's time for you to go home. Got it? Got it. And I shouldn't whine, because they do provide a huge amount of our economy here. The lake is pretty much what this whole thing is about. If it wasn't for the lake, I'm not sure how these little communities around here would make it. I have no clue. All right, let's do some going down this way. Oops. And I suppose you could just do this, you know, backwards see as well. But I think I'll keep doing it this way. Oh, and I should, so I'm not drawing a ridiculous amount. Let's see where the edge of the box. See, I drew all that extra because the edge, and I did build in a little bit of extra. Now I'm thinking, okay, what do I want to put in the background of this?
I may not look any more beautiful, but I feel beautiful. That's okay. I figured you saw the thing.
You're beautiful, Robert Bowen. Very, very beautiful.
I wasn't going to say that. Where'd you find the cherries?
Sam's Club. All right, dots in the background. Dots are always good, Brenda. See, this one I've done this. I think it's called stipple. Several different places. So it's not uncommon that I will take a pattern and repeat it. Like it's there, it's there, it's there, it's there. So I commonly will pick a pattern and repeat it in. I kind of like dots in the background too. It definitely is going to be dark, whether it's shading or completely black. Should I do? Just thinking. Because see, in this one actually has a solid black background, but I put the circles in it. So circles is a repeating kind of element. So maybe, do I want to do it afterwards? You can do it with either white paint or white ink, whatever, after you're all done, or sometimes I just draw it in. I think I'll just draw it in. I'll just draw circles here and there and color black around them. Oops, this one needs its... And the thing about doing that is if I end up not liking it, just color the circles in. I try not to use white ink or white paint. If I want something white, I try and leave it. Because you can always see where the white was added. But, well, now highlights I do add with a white pen, but I want it sitting on top. but I don't like to have to go back and make corrections. I will, but I don't particularly like it. Probably because I'm the one who always knows it's there. And maybe since I'm down in the corner here and my hand won't be here, I'll go ahead and shade this so you guys can see it from beginning to end. And I wish I knew if all these people were leaving, because I sure would like to go out and get a steak tonight. But if there's going to be a bunch of city people around in the restaurants, nah, I don't think I'll bother. The patterns are amazing. If you ever just go on tanglepatterns.com, and I talk about them all the time because that's more often than not where I go to find my patterns. Another place, and I don't do Pinterest much, but if you do Pinterest, search for Zentangle. There are some amazing things out there, and I found some cool patterns there too. But they fascinate me as well. They really do. And if you go read some of the people who submit the designs and they talk about where they got their inspiration for the design, it's amazing. Like, people see patterns everywhere. Doorways, windows, traveling in France. You know, it's those kind of stories just freak me out, that they saw something out wandering through the streets of France and went home and created a tangle pattern off of it. It's like totally cool. Do you sometimes work in color or with watercolor? You know, I haven't much, Cat. I'm not saying I wouldn't, but I have not. There's just something about the black and white that really, really intrigues me. So for the most part, I do black and white. I have done some color though, and I've seen a few that I wouldn't mind trying, where they've added just a little bit of color in a couple of places. That was very intriguing. But I think you have to be very judicious with how much color and where you put it. I think if you get too much color, it detracts from the design. And that could just be my brain. Don't know. See right in there, that's very confusing to me. Not liking that. So I'm going to go ahead. Well, no, I'll leave it. Another thing, yeah, it's like sometime if I'm working in one part, I forget that when you step back and look at the whole thing, that little thing that bugs you in that one place disappears. You don't even see it anymore. And if I have large black areas to do, I generally won't do it with this pen or a pen with a small nib. I'll get out my ink and dip pens so I can do large areas more quickly. Because I've got pens with much bigger nibs. But this isn't a real big area, so it'll be fine. This one I'm going to like because the shading will be cool. got something in the nib of this pen. Not wanting to cooperate. And if I hadn't done this, this dots in it, I would have used a bigger nib, but now I've kind of got to work around the, let me see if that number 2 will work. Gotta leave, Barbara? Okay, I'm not really going to stay too much longer. I'm going to shade this. Coloring in small areas with black pens annoys me. Oh, and another thing I meant to tell you guys, doggone it, I lost my note, I guess. I wanted to tell you guys, well, I haven't seen those bots either at Dee Dee's or here the last couple times, but I did set up subscriber chat, so you have to be a subscriber for at least a minute to participate in my chat, and I meant to tell you guys that going in. So yeah, of course we won't know if people came in here and couldn't chat, will we? Oh well. But yeah, so hopefully we won't be having those crazy bots that I did, hopefully by doing the subscriber chat. Hopefully that's going to eliminate those bozos. Dee Dee didn't have any at her stream this morning, but she didn't set that up, I don't think. But she did ban certain words, so if there's dirty words in those bots' titles, like some of them have, and we've all seen it, yeah, they get banned automatically. And so I went back and forth, do I want to do that, or, and I thought, you know what, I'll just do subscriber chat, and if that bothers people, oh well. How about that? So, and that will be set up for all future streams. So if you're going to chat in my chat, you have to be a subscriber for at least 1 minute. 1 whole minute. Yeah, those words are in the name of the bots themselves. So maybe that's the sort of thing, you know, because I've been complaining, and y'all know I'm good at complaining because I work at it and I get a lot of practice. You know, I kept saying, yeah, there's got to be something YouTube can do about this. Well, I think this may be their solution, where they're letting the streamers come up with their own solutions, is kind of the way I look at it. Is they've given you these tools now. Use the tools they've given you to control your own content, which I'm okay with that. I mean, it means I have to pay more attention, which I'm not good at. But yeah, we'll see how this works, and hopefully that bothersome crap will stop. We'll see. The only thing I think, you know, like making it where subscribers can't chat is they don't know it coming in, and they try and write in chat and then nothing comes up. Well, I don't get that many new subscribers at live streams. Most of mine come from, you know, either YouTube recommending or somebody seeing me recommend me on another channel or something like that. I don't have a lot of people who come in and say, oh, I'm new. Dee Dee does have that. So I think for Dee Dee it would, you know, maybe discourage viewership. I don't know. I thought for my channel it probably wasn't going to make that big a difference. But everything has its pros and cons, you know, so. But I did mean to mention that at the beginning of the stream. Here I am almost at the end. Voila. Finally popped in my head. But I did that several days ago, so cut me some slack, dudes. I don't even know what made me think of that. Maybe Barbara leaving, thinking, oh, I won't have a mod. But see, I like new people too. It does tell you have to subscribe to chat. Okay, thanks, CB. That's actually good to know. Yeah, and I don't necessarily want to do anything to discourage people either. You know, I like our new viewers, but the damn bots have made it ridiculous on certain days to even watch a live stream, you know? And to be a moderator is sometimes an absolute nightmare. Just trying to keep up with them because the tools that you have are not effective. That's the thing that's frustrating to me, is they give you the opportunity to block them or boot them out or whatever. Well, that lasts about 30 seconds or less. And I'm not sure how they're getting around that. But anyway, hopefully we'll see if that helps. Here in a couple weeks, I think we'll have a better idea. But they have been better lately. So whatever tools YouTube has come up with, I bitch about them enough. In this instance, I'm going to give them credit for having at least given us some tools to try and combat it, right? I don't think you had bots left. You did not have any the last two streams, Dee Dee. Yeah, you didn't. But I think the one before was before you had actually banned the words. If I remember correctly, because we talked about it after that. Okay, let me go ahead and... Did I get the pencil out so I can do some shading around here? I thought I did. I meant to. Doggone it. Now I gotta look in that box again. I knew I was going to be sorry that I did that, but I could have sworn I picked out the pencil. That's alright, we'll just use this one. Oh, there it is. I did get it out. Oh, good, I'm not losing my mind, you guys. Lately, it isn't what they say, but their name. Exactly, CB. Exactly. So let me, before I do any shading, erase the lines that I don't want showing. Okay, the shading on this might be just a little bit tricky because if you envision that those are rings hanging above the bar, are they resting right on it or are they hanging above it? So I could put the shading either right up against that line or somewhere down here away from it. I think in this case, I'm just going to shade it as if it's resting against that little bar. And the shading isn't that hard to figure out. Usually where two lines intersect is where there's going to be a shadow. So that makes it a little bit easier. Another thing, I like to wait a little while normally before I shade. And even though it's micron ink and it's not supposed to smear and stuff, on some papers it still will. So, you know, you might want to wait for a little while and make sure that ink is really thoroughly dry before you start doing the shading. That one looks cool. I like it. It's terrible at the Mary ATA show, but she won't shut it down. Yeah, she streams from her phone. but she can go in on her laptop and set up some parameters, even though she streams from her phone. But you got to set them up on your PC. All right, this one, see, is actually this design, but I didn't do the black center. I think I'm going to go back and do the black center on this one because I like the black center. Oh, but no, it'll be fine. Yeah, but I'll do that later. She doesn't have her laptop running, from my understanding. She uses phone and tablet. Oh. Yeah, I'm not sure. There are different rules if you're just on your phone, for sure. So yeah, I'm not sure. Anything that anybody else wants to see? I'm not going to stay on too much longer. I'll pull you guys back out a little bit. I have to say I love my little book. Look at this one. It's so cute. Who wouldn't want to draw that? Ugh. Yeah, you have to. Well, the thing is, I don't think any of us streamers would have it there at all, you know. So you kind of have to be patient with everybody, because I think the frustration for everybody has been huge. You know, you feel so absolutely, utterly helpless. Yeah, it's just like, what do you do? What do you do? I just want to yell at the YouTube people. Well, oh, this one is a really fun one. Now this one, I would draw myself a grid probably. Thanks, Brenda. Let's see. I was kind of wanting a light pattern here. So let's just do it real quick. Where's my template things? I'll just use this because it's got straight lines on it. I'll do it over here. It's not going to be really huge, but oh well. Doesn't matter. I'll just make myself a quick grid. I use anything to make a grid. I don't care what size it is. Hey, Dee Dee, how was lunch with Hubster? 40 years. Dee Dee, that's amazing. I admire that. I love when couples have been together entire lifetimes. I'm certain if Jim had lived, we would still be together today. Very compatible peoples. Okay, I'm drawing this one, which is a very light pattern. And it looks like you start with an X in your pattern. I don't have an entire cube here, so it's just going to be weird, okay? And I am going to use a straight line. So just bear with me. Sometimes it's surprising to me that Robert and I have been together 22 years. I don't even know how that's flippin' possible. It feels like we just met yesterday. 70 years. That's remarkable, Dorothy. So good on them. well, one, I'm a huge believer in commitment. And I know sometimes it just doesn't work out. I don't think you're failing if it doesn't work out for you, but I just think it's such a remarkable thing in this day and age where we've made divorce so damn easy that people don't take that commitment seriously. But I think too, it's finding the person that you're compatible with, and you're willing to put up with their nonsense, and they're willing to put up with your nonsense, because believe me, there's a lot of nonsense out there. But I think it's just so easy to say, I'm done, you know, whatever. No, man, you gotta man up. Now I don't know which line is my line. It's got to be the edge of the paper. Never mind, never mind. Figured it out. I am a sap, a complete sap for true love, though. I really am. I am a sap. I divorced after 22 years. That was 8 years ago. That's pretty typical, Brenda. I've heard that before from people that divorce after a long time, after the kids are raised or whatever. Okay, so I'll show you the pattern. So I'm kind of deciding here how to do it. It looks like after you get your X, you start at one corner, and draw down. Keep in mind, a lot of these I drew ages and ages ago, so I don't remember how they are constructed. But it looks like you just go around. Like that. And I think you just keep doing that for, I don't know, 3 or 4 times. Before I do this, I want to make sure. Yeah, that's what it looks like. I'll do 4. And then draw on the other side like that one continues underneath it. It probably is going to be look more cool if you draw it bigger. Been married 20, together 23. His little sister is 60 years. That's remarkable, Dorothy. You know, that's the crazy thing. I don't think there's any relationship on earth that doesn't have its ups and its downs. I mean, it can't be a bed of roses every day, even though I tell Robert it better be, because I'm not going to put up with anything else. I think every relationship has its ups and its downs, and you do your best with what you got going, right? I think I did this one right, you guys. I wouldn't bet money on it, but I got talking and forgot to look. Oh, tell Tim hi, Linda. Well, Barbara, I understand that, because Robert and I have been together 22 and just haven't bothered with the formalities at all. Pretty much. Okay, yeah, it looks like I've done it right. Those are just shorter on the sides. Okay, cool. Cool, cool, cool. Plus, this would look way different, too, if I was using a finer nib pen. So keep that in mind, too, that the nib of the pen is going to impact how the Zentangle looks. This is plastic nib, so if I had to guess, it's going to be somewhere between, yeah, say 3 to 5 millimeter nib. But I use this because I know I'm going to spray it. And I don't want the ink smearing, so. But yeah, keep that in mind. Your nib size is going to impact how it looks. This one is going to look very cool shaded. I can promise you that. And I didn't finish this. Alright, now back to what I was doing. Okay, where the designs match, I'm going to go, or meet up, I'm going to go ahead and color that in black. So they kind of get distinguished from one another. I don't know if I've ever drawn this back to back to back like that, but I like it. You don't get that long for murder, cat. That's funny. And sometimes you just gotta, in your brain, figure out, okay, I don't have all the corners available. How do I finish the design? So, looking very, very cool. Very, very. Alright, this is one of those places I gotta kind of figure out how that design would fit in that little space that's left. And if the shape that's left is somewhat similar, you know you did it right. You'll get better over time, Jasper, I promise you. Bye, Dee Dee. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you later. You and Buddy have a happy 4th of July. Yeah, I'm almost done here. So, this one, I need a line coming this way. Right. Let's see if I'm thinking, yeah, I'm thinking that right. One thing about making nice, smooth lines, Jasper, is really try and get to that, I guess, that Zen place, and not think about it. Another thing that really works, and this works in all of drawing, at least it works for me. Now, other people may tell you something different. But if I'm drawing a line and I know where I want it to go, here, I'll do it at the edge. But let's say that's my destination for my line and I want a nice curve line. Rather than watching your pen tip, look at your end place and just go for that. You'll get a nice curve. If you pay attention to what your nib is drawing, your brain just almost goes crazy. So, like, figure out your destination and look there. You'll get much nicer, less jerky lines. I promise you. Try it and tell me if I'm not right. Because I know I'm right. Because I'm pretty much always right. Right? Yep. Alright, let me see how that corner would end up being. This one will be... Okay, that's right, that's right. Alright, looks like I did the whole thing. And going faster helps if you try to be too precise. Yes, move fast. On a long line especially, but even on short lines, if you look where your destination is, it'll just work better if your pen will cooperate with you. So it's almost like you're not thinking. Yes, Brenda, I have to do that too. Remind yourself to breathe. Breathe, damn it. You're going to die here in a minute. Yeah, I have to too. So let's go ahead and shade this just because we can. If I have to clean up because of it, okay, it'll be fine because you guys are worth it, maybe. You see, I forgot to erase those, my box lines. try and do that first. Try and remember that first. I just find this very relaxing. Just don't get stressed out about the end result. Do it because you enjoy doing it. I think that's another piece of good advice. I actually like that pattern a lot. I'll pull you down so you can see a little closer. Looks very cool. And it's just about right. I'll go ahead and shade this one too, because I really like this pattern. I don't remember what it's called because I didn't look it up. I just remembered it. But you just draw equally spaced. Well, I guess you don't even have to do them equally spaced. I generally do them equally spaced. And then just draw a squiggly line and color it, you know, then just echo it and color in every other one. And I don't know why that, I just love the way that ends up looking. It looks like it's so intricate and difficult to do, and it's so dang easy. So, and I don't like how these two match up, so I'm going to go ahead and put some shading in here to make that break less offensive to me. You're not using pencil? Well, okay, Jasper, I think for it to be like Zen, like they intended for it to be, they don't want you to do all that precision stuff. I do that to satisfy my neurotic brain. I wish I didn't have to go in there and do that. That's my neuroses that I do that. Because if a line is crooked, it'll make me crazy and I'll throw it away. So, yeah. But I almost wish I didn't have that in my pea-sized brain. See, that shadow will make that break there more palatable to me. And I'll do it along that bottom too. But I don't want to get too much graphite on here until I'm done drawing. But then what I would do, I hope this is the one that writes. If it's not, it's going to hack me off. Just put that highlight down the center. This is not my favorite pen, but oh well. And the same thing with that black and white tube there. When I'm done with the whole thing, I'll just do a part of it for you. But see how different it looks when you get the shading and the highlight on there. So don't overlook that part of it, because that's the thing that really tricks your brain. And to me, makes it look way, way cool. How do you shade the first one you did? This one with, oh, this one, I'll show you in just a second. Sometimes you just got to stop and think about, what do I want to look closer to me, I guess would be the easiest thing. The things that are further away from you are going to be shaded more. Okay, so this black and white, now watch when I do the shading and the highlight on this. It just looks like an entirely different piece of art when you do it. So it'll make it look curved. And by drawing the lines curved, you've already given it the illusion of having depth or roundness. So after you put the shading on the sides and smush it out, which is this part, and if it's too dark, if it's whatever, get a kneaded eraser and clean it up But then just go down the center with a pen that writes good. That would be the caveat there. But these are the things that make it start just really looking like, holy crap, that looks so cool. These are my favorite parts of it. And they're the things that make all your art kind of come maybe to life, or to give it some dimension. If I want to make that pipe really look like it's sitting on top of whatever's underneath it, put some shading along the edge. Don't think how long you spent drawing those circles. And then just smush that out. And then you've given that some depth where that pipe really, I'm calling it a pipe, I don't know what else to call it, but where it really looks like it's sitting on top, where that is below it. So don't skimp on the shading and the highlighting. Okay, and then this first one I drew, the way I'll shade it is every one of these little leaves, I'll put shading underneath it. But you can do it a lot of different ways too. If I drew a curve in it, I'll pick a place and show you. Because the thing is, if I don't like it, I have an eraser. I'll just go back and erase it. No big deal to me. But by shading underneath it, it will make these little petals look like they're popping up away from whatever is around it. Whenever you start shading, say, because I've chosen the bottom, just keep that consistent. Because all you're doing drawing, it doesn't matter what you're drawing, like Dee Dee drawing that dog the other day, or drawing this, whatever, you're just tricking your brain. It's all you're doing. You can't ever make it three-dimensional, so you've got to trick your brain into thinking that there's dimension where there's really no dimension at all. So you learn the few little tricks that it takes to trick yours and everybody else's brain. Okay, let's see. Let's say I just wanted a wrinkle in here where those two lines match. If I just put a light shading in there and blend it out, my brain is going to see that as a dent in whatever is there. And I could do that wherever I want my brain to see something that's really not there. You're a whole other level, you think? So, yeah, that's how I'll do that. And whatever I draw around it, I will shade around these edges so it looks like it's tucking back into whatever's nearby. These, I was watching TV when I did this. Normally, I would never have put this next to this. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. I wasn't thinking. I was just drawing. So along here, I will definitely have to work with the shading to make it appear something other than what I did, because it was damn stupid. And these aren't shaded yet, so but this would be, I guess, one solution. And again, if I don't like it, get the eraser out, who cares? But those two I would normally never have put side by side, because they're just too much of the same weight design. They look like ropes to me, but yeah, pipes too, I guess. Rounded is what they are. Yeah. How am I going to shade the bubbles? The bubbles I probably won't too much because they're very small. But say, like in here where I have these, I would just take this tortillon that has some graphite on it, and on a few of the bigger ones, pick one side, you know, on the left bottom or whatever, and just add some shading to it. But on this one, what I'll really shade is where the design overlaps. And there's some designs that don't lend themselves to shading real well, and then I just don't worry about it. But when you're smushing them up together, I always try and shade around them so that it looks like one is sitting on top of another. That's one thing I try and do pretty consistent. And whoever wins this, oh, we got to do a giveaway. I can do the giveaway by myself. Let's do a giveaway. I was going to give away the box so I know where I'm shipping it. All right, you guys, same rules as Dee Dee. We're going to pick a number between 1 and, let's do 1 and 50 because there's 33. Well, no, we'll do 1 and 100. 1 and 100, first number closest without going over, I will send the box, the finished box too. But keep in mind, I'm not going to get the box done until later on in the week, and then I'll have to take it to the post office next week. So it's going to be a couple weeks before you have it in your hands, but I will get it done just as soon as I possibly can. So see how I've kind of made it look like those ropes are going over and under? Not just the lines themselves, but with the shading. Yep. Just mail it to me. Is the box all dry now? Yes, it is all dry now. Oops, let me pull it out. Here's the bottom, and you can just see that little lip where the top of the box can rest. I'll put felt or something on the bottom. I haven't decided yet. But can you see inside? You can kind of see the construction strips. But yeah, you can't hardly see them at all. So it looks nice and finished. If it needs touch up, I'll do that. And then this box top will be hang on. Why is it wanting to stick a little bit? Probably damp. Yeah, this will all be sandpapered. Not sandpapered, wall covered. So yeah, pick a number between 1 and 100. First number without going over wins it. You will have to give me your address, so if that's a problem, don't enter. I don't think you have to do Zentangle to win the box. You can put ATCs or anything else. It's designed to fit 2.5 by 3.5. And the first number closest will win. Zentangle the box. No, I'm not going to draw directly on the box. One, because it's acrylic paint and it'll wreck your pens. So yeah. But I will definitely get this out, get it all done by the end of the week, okay? So anyway, type in number between 1 and 100 after I type go. Anybody have any questions? The same rules as Dee Dee's, and I'll get random.org. Hang on, I'm getting it up here. Well, while I'm doing that, you guys go ahead and put your numbers in. Because now I'm over. I was going to not stream so long today. Get them in there. I'll give you guys a few little minutes. All right, here we go. Linda and Jasper. First number without going over. All right, I'll let you pick another number, but normally it's just whoever gets it first. All right, everybody got their numbers in. Kathy Arbor played with us. Okay, ready? Stop. All right, so it's first number without going over. 87. Give me a break. Dorothy won it. Dorothy wins everything. I can't believe that. Dorothy won it. Well, congratulations, Dorothy. So just be patient, Dorothy. Be patient. Yeah, we don't. Yeah, if somebody picks the same number, it's just the first number. So, yep. Dorothy is the luckiest person alive, I swear to God. Dorothy, I will get this out in the mail to you. But it's going to, yeah, I won't even have it done for a little while. Dorothy said to mail it to you? Okay. Yeah, I think the paint's making it a little bit sticky, so I'm not going to mess with it for a little while until, because yeah, it's probably just still a little bit damp. So it's a little bit sticky, but it will fit. No, she didn't. All right. All right, you guys. Thanks for hanging with me this afternoon. Go have a happy 4th of July. Remember why we do this. It's all about our freedoms. Do not let them go easily. Okay? All right. I love you guys. I'll see you later. Go have some fun.